Welcome to the Where My Dad's At podcast, where we answer the question, where my dad's at, and we say, we right here, yo, in the truck. We'll take a ride today. We'll run some errands. And yeah, y'all come along with us. Figured I'd do this for YouTube, man. I've been having bad luck recording for YouTube. Last couple podcasts, I've been able to drop audio and a couple little clips. But for some reason, I cannot record a full podcast, and I might just have to go back to doing things a more simple, less high-tech way and just use the phone. So y'all tell me what you think about it. Yeah, we're going to be trying to drop some more YouTube clips and do some more things. Today on this episode, I'm back with the one and only Carson. And yeah, you've seen him on the podcast before, or heard him on the podcast before, maybe not seen him, but you probably seen him on the YouTube channel, whatever. And the kids don't make too many appearances, but every once in a while we feature them. So just to hear a little bit of their insight or whatever. And today we're going to talk about a sensitive topic, and it's something that has to do with health. It's something that has to do with health as you get older. And while he may be a long way away from it, some of us are getting to that age where it's recommended that we get a colonoscopy. So I recently had one done, and I had to explain to my kids what it was. And it was a little awkward, but we try to explain things really basic. We try not to, sugarcoat a bunch of stuff. We try to present it in a way that's age appropriate to our kids. And yeah, Carson's definitely of an age where he can understand that as we get older, there are parts of our body that we just have to maintain. We have to make sure they're healthy. So that's one of the ways as you reach, your mid 40s now to early 50s, it's recommended that you go and get a colonoscopy. And for those who may not know what it is, it's essentially when the doctor uses a tool called an endoscope, I think, some type of camera to navigate and visually inspect your colon and different things. That's about the extent of my knowledge on it. The one other thing I do know is that when you have a colonoscopy, what they're screening for is cancer. Any other anomalies or abnormalities that you may have in that part of your body. So one of the things they do is when they're doing the exam internally, they're looking for what's called polyps. Carson, do you know what a polyp is? Me neither, really. I just know it's an abnormality. It's an abnormal growth. It's like these little things, like it's little tissue that grows in a place where it shouldn't be growing. And during a colonoscopy, you can actually have those polyps removed and then have those polyps tested for cancer. And so the idea is by doing this exam, if you have any of those things, you catch them early and you can take preventative action. So basically, preventative means what? You prevent, right? We do something before we have to do something more serious. So we try to prevent and head off a more major situation, right? So oil changes in your vehicle are preventative. If you don't change the oil gets old and it doesn't work to lubricate your engine and stuff like it's supposed to. And the lubrication of your engine cuts down on friction, cuts down on heat, which cuts down on wear and tear, and it helps your car to stay healthy. So very much like an oil change for a car, a colonoscopy, yearly exams, those things like that help to keep your body, somewhat healthy and find things before it gets too far out of hand. So yeah, that's what a colonoscopy is. So you got any questions about a colonoscopy, buddy? Nope. Yeah. So it was interesting. And I have to admit that I was nervous. They told me they were going to be putting me under anesthesia. You know what anesthesia is? What's that mean?
They make you go to sleep.
Yeah, they put you to sleep. Exactly. I don't know if y'all can hear him back there, but he said they put you to sleep. That's right. There are different types of anesthesia, and that's the third time that car has passed by here. I notice things like that. It's one of those dad things. There's to get off topic for a second. There's some commercials out there, and I think it's an insurance commercial, and essentially the person speaking in the insurance commercial is trying to teach younger people that are getting older, how not to turn into their parents and how not to do some of the same things their parents do. And not the good things, but just the things that can be a little annoying and stuff like that. And one of the things I do as a parent is I'm very, very observant and almost territorial over my surroundings, right? Especially when I'm somewhere that I want to feel safe. I notice things and anything out of the normal and peculiar to me, I take note of it, right? Do I do anything about it other than take note? Not necessarily, but I take note of it and try to be aware of what's going on around me. If I see two squirrels and they've got lightsabers and they're battling it out, I'm probably just going to take a video and take a picture of that. That's not that big of a deal. But if I see somebody with a mask on and they're taking my neighbor's furniture out of the house, I'm probably going to say something. So, yeah, I try to be observant. And that's one of the things that I've noticed as I've gotten older and more gray hairs. I do that more. So I'll start to become aware of who is normally around, my home and my area. And vehicles are something that I really key in on. I notice vehicles. And so, I'm definitely the person on the block that can tell you, yeah, that car drove past X amount of times before 8 a.m. I'm that guy. So, if you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, you want to watch out for the people like me. And I know snitches get stitches, but guess what? Doing something around my house where I live, disturbing my peace, I'll take the stitches that come with the snitches. You know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons why. That was funny? Oh, no, it was kind of funny, but you can say if it's funny, buddy. Yeah, daddy can be funny sometimes. Yeah. So yeah, I'm observant and I notice things. And that was one of the things I just noticed. A car came by here for the third time within 5 minutes, and not a big deal. It was a older lady, and she looked like she might have forgotten where she was going. So we're just gonna give her a pass. Yeah, back to the colonoscopy and my anxieties and fears over it. Yeah, I was a little nervous. The only part I was nervous about was the going to sleep part. I don't fear like some people. I don't necessarily fear waking up and feeling pain. The procedure itself, I had no fears or anxieties over the procedure itself. It's just I don't totally understand how anesthesia works, okay? And how I guess like any other medication, it wears off and so you wake up. And that's exactly what it did. So I'm praising God for that. But yeah, and hold on, my mom just pulled up. Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Where My Dad's At podcast.